Hey everybody, I'm Shane and here's my review of Solo Leveling Episode 7 entitled Let's See How Far I Can Go. And before I go any further, I want to see how far you can go and hit that like button, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more reviews just like this one. And if you want to support me even further, my Patreon is in the description below. So, apparently there was no new Solo Leveling this week. So, me being a week behind purposely actually lines up everything very nicely. If you remember last week, it was up to our boy Jinwoo to get him and Jin-ho out of the situation where this C-rank party, can't even call him a guild, but this C-rank party is basically going to murder them just so they can get more loot for themselves, which the logic is failing on me here still. So you go, okay, well, it's 6 of us, but we need, you need 8. So we can just grab 2 guys and then we'll get in there and we'll kill them. Or we'll let the boss kill them. Then we'll come back and we'll get everything and we won't have to split it. Still doesn't make sense. And you still come off as a douchebag, which Hwang Dung-suk, because I'm gonna make fun of his name because he is a dung sucker. That's what he is. But that is not the key focus of today's episode. Today's focus, literally seeing how far Jinwoo could go. The crux of this episode is him going into an S-rank dungeon after obtaining another key for this. It's not, technically it's an instance dungeon, but just obtaining this new key so that he can, push his limits a bit. The way he was able to get it was his dailies. He with the running and the push-ups and the sit-ups, he discovered that it started counting over. So he's supposed to do 10 kilometers, right? Well, then he saw he had 11. And something just told him, let's keep going. So he went further. So there was it was capped at double for all of it. So 200 of everything and 20 kilometers. And when he finished, he had different rewards and he had done a secret quest, which is how he got this key. And it's kind of cute because he went out running and exercising with his sister. She's trying to do more than just study, but you get the feeling that I guess she's doing it to spend more time with her brother too, since he literally does this every single day. He has to, or he's going to be dropped into a dungeon or even worse, just whatever punishment, but you can possibly drop into a dungeon where he may or may not make it out alive. So, yeah. And this battle that he has today with Hell's Gatekeeper Cerberus. Fun fact about me, Cerberus is one of my favorite mythological creatures. I like Cerberus. Cerberus is cool. This creature has red name. So remember, red above your level, orange on level, blue you're above its level. And this battle was so good. So good. Especially since I was wondering if he's gonna actually die. He brought the teleportation stone in there with him, right? Being prepared. If anything, Jinwoo may be becoming I don't want to say overpowered, because this shows that there's a bit of a cap here, and there's a story later that shows there's a cap even with S ranks. But I like that he thinks ahead. He's constantly running through things in his mind. Of course, he's the type of character that stays to himself. So having that stone was smart, but he was getting pummeled anyway. He lost the teleportation stone he thought about when he was about to use it. Hell Gatekeeper Cerberus used a skill called Rage, which doubled all of its abilities. He lost an arm. Thank goodness he keeps the full recoveries. As a matter of fact, what did end up saving him was a skill that he didn't, or should I say is a skill or a reward? I guess it's a reward / skill that he had gained. I'm just want to go through here because I actually wrote it down, that he didn't realize he had before until I think the day before. Actually, yeah, the day or the day before he did this quest where he bought fried chicken. Apparently, I guess in Southeast Asian regions, fried chicken is a super, I don't want to say a super delicacy, but it's a super delicacy. And he got himself some beer, and as he's drinking it, the player system goes, something toxic's going in your body. We're gonna cleanse it, so he can't get drunk. Like, he's had like 6 beers, can't get drunk, right? And he finds out it is because I don't care about any of that. No, not yet. So the grand spellcaster Kandiru or Kandiru, he got the blessing. So it's spirit of rehabilitation. All his injuries are healed. It's a temporary buff. So I'm assuming that's what he got when he. Maybe it's a temporary buff because they get healed, but you can get hurt again. But he has. Number 2 was health and longevity. It's a long-lasting buff. Disables toxic and abnormal conditions, and it improves his regenerative capacity, which explains why when he lost his leg and his arm, when they discovered him, everything was reattached. So here, that is definitely pushed to the limit. He has to use a full recovery just to get back an arm that he loses here. It's something about that right arm because it gets messed up even more, and he gets dang near bitten in half. I like that you see his health bar, and I didn't write down the numerical level of his health. But I guess when half of his health was 1932 at the time, if I'm remembering the other 2 digits, I know it was 19 something, but 1932, which means double. I think his full health is like 38,000, might be 3,800. He was getting thrashed. He was getting his ass whooped. And the area of this dungeon, for those of you who have seen Keanu Reeves's Constantine, imagine the hellscape Los Angeles, but mostly on fire. As a matter of fact, it reminds me of the opening level. If you play, goodness, I don't even know if you play gacha games. You play Fate Go. Remember the opening for Fate Go when everything's on fire? It reminds me of that. It reminds me of that heavily. And our boy does it. Like, he gets the win, but he gets the win in a funny way where, remember there's the poison from episode 2 from the blue venom snake thing. The debuff is it permanently hurts your health, but the buff is you become resistant, I think, by 20% of damage. He put 2 and 2 together, popped the cork, drank the thing. Now he gets a second win, and the key is he has to wait out this rage ability for 3 minutes. If he didn't pop the cork and then have the instant heal on save, no, he used the instant heal, and then he still had gold, and he bought things from his in-store shop to try to boost his health. If he hadn't done that or used the poison, he wouldn't have made it out. And once he was able to wait out those 3 minutes, a lot of the damage that he did to one of the head's eye with his venom dagger, that started to pile up because this thing, when enraged, and initially, but when enraged mostly, any debuff he gave it went away. It's just like, stab, no. Everything caught up, and when he's in its jaws, like I mentioned before, like could have been bitten in half. He's just rapidly stabbing. I enjoy the fact that his blue eye shining, while intimidating, right? It shows that he's the good guy. Because we see a character later with that red eye. We'll get to that in a second. But he rapidly stabs, and I thought he had beheaded one of the Cerberus heads. No, he just cut it. He just cut it deep. This man makes a blood rain, literally. Oh yeah, that's a video game too. Literally makes a blood rain where Cerberus's blood just washes away most, if not all, of the fire, except for the one burning tower, which is the Demon Lord's castle that he has to go. But I didn't explain why he comes here, and I'll explain as we talk about his rewards. One of his rewards, on top of getting a new dagger, getting some buffs, getting a skill. By the way, Murderous Intent did not work on that thing, which I'm not surprised. And him getting the key was an A rank quest. So I'm assuming that the Cerberus was an A rank beast, which makes me believe that now he is at A rank. But wait, there's more. He gets a formula to make the elixir of life. What's the elixir of life, you ask? The elixir of life is his whole point for going on this quest. Because when he initially gets the key and it tells him this S-ranked dungeon will yield you to being able to make and obtain the elixir of life, which heals all illnesses. He thinks of his mom, right? Yeah, he's made that extra money, from the mission where they were trying to kill him. He was able to pay off her expenses early, pay off the house expenses early. That's why he was able to come up with the fried chicken and the drink. But with this, he might be able to get her out of there. I don't think he's going to be able to, personally. I don't think he's going to be able to. No, I have not read this story. I don't know if he does or not, but I don't think he will, because if I remember correctly, I believe in episode 2, episode 2, episode 1, they said that it was a curse. Isn't it a curse? It's not an illness, but a curse, but they're treating it as an illness. His mom's cheeks are sunken in too, so she's obviously malnourished. Are they just not hooking up an IV to her? So many extra questions I have in here, but it doesn't ruin anything. But with all of this, makes Jinwoo realize, if I go in that tower now, I'm probably going to die. So you know what? This isn't farewell. This is I'll see you later. I don't know how he's going to get back, because I assume that if you left out of the dungeon, you couldn't come back, and that the key was gone. Maybe it's not gone. Maybe once he teleports out with the stone, he can bide his time and level up again and come back, which I'm sure he's going to do, helping Jin-ho go through the 19 or 20 raids he needs to in order to officially be in the running to make a guild. That is another part of this story. Jin-ho wants his help to make a guild, because his father, I think it's the Yun-sen Construction Corporation, he wants to run a guild like a dungeon, because there's so many resources you can get by having a guild, having people go out, do quests, do jobs, grab things and that nature. And if you run it like a business, everyone can be profitable, period. No questions about it. But Jin-ho realizes, well, hey, if I work with you, or we work together, then it won't be an issue, right? You're obviously above the level that they have written down, and it'll make me look good because I'm D rank. So if you're with me and it looks like I'm doing all these missions and I'm completing them, it'll look good. He offered him like 30 billion money. I don't know South Korean currency, so we'll just say zenny at the moment. 20 billion zenny, 30 billion zenny. And even Jinwoo recognizes, like me of the past would have instantly taken this, but I'm leveling up, I'm getting stronger. This will probably be chump change soon. And it's funny. This moment is funny because Jinwoo is thankful that Jin-ho did not, say what happened in the dungeon. He says, well, I'm grateful that you saved me, 1. 2, you did it in self-defense to save us, so I don't see the big deal. But at the end of it, he's like, if you join, I will take your secret to the grave. And you get the glare from Jinwoo. It's like, stop it. You don't even realize you're glaring, do you? Seeing a picture of Jinwoo, what he looked like before the daily workouts, I kind of wish he still looked like that, right? You get this, he would look even more unassuming if you have this not really handsome, but just regular looking guy, which is funny because the nurses say now he's not handsome. He's just, he's okay looking, but oh man, he's them muscles. He could have looked how he normally looked, just had the muscles, and it would have this unassuming presence about him, almost like Midoriya, except with superheroes, you can kind of notice it a little bit more, but I don't know. I do think it's funny that he looks like he's had like surgery. He looks like he's had plastic surgery, but obviously he hasn't. So I think Jinwoo is going to take him up on that offer, because with this, he can go on these 19 to 20 raids, level up a bit. He'll have help. Even Jin-ho says, look, as strong as you are, you still need help doing raids. I know I definitely need help. So I can see this being a long-lasting partnership. Probably, more than likely, a long-lasting partnership, as long as, Jin-ho doesn't die. Segue into Dong-suk's older brother, Dong-soo. I don't know what he's in. I don't know if he's in charge of like a mafia or some guild overseas, but he asked for information on the two hunters that came out of the quest that killed his brother. He's like, nah, one of these two killed my brother. And like, yeah, they did, but your brother's, all intents and purposes, your brother's a piece of shit, and you seem like you're a piece of shit too. Just, oh man, I'm super strong. I crushed my smartphone. And Laura, my assistant, he's asking the question, what happens if I kill somebody overseas? Oh, extradition. But if I get extradited and they can't extradite, just, I'm gonna let you know now, Dong-soo, Doo-doo-soo, I'm gonna let you know, you're probably not making it out. You're probably gonna mess with Jin-ho. And Ho is gonna let you know that Woo, don't play that, boo. He gonna get you. So I look forward to him probably getting his head cut off as well. And that's what I mentioned earlier about the red eye. It's so it's obvious, but it's a good representation, right? I won't nitpick too much. Sometimes you gotta have tropes, right? I won't nitpick too much about, oh man, everyone that's bad has that red eye glare. Although, some shows have a different glare in the eye, right? Like MASH's eyes, since they're yellow, they have this yellow flare about them that are it's very intimidating. So blue is, I would have said blue is my favorite color, but I like blue, green, and purple. So blue, one of my favorite colors here, being represented for our protagonist. It's a blue show. You get the blue aura and stuff like that. Like Midoriya has a green thing going about him. So the blue juxtaposing with the red, especially was that last episode? With last episode, with all the people going, hey, we're evil. We're going to murder you. Yeah, murder red, hero blue. Hero blue, for sure. Oh, and the only one thing I didn't mention is earlier, remember Gung-ho, was it Gung-go? The chairman's assistant manager guy, Woo gets information about this. And it's funny because when the guy comes in and says, well, these guys died, a D rank and E rank made it. He's like, okay, well, the D rank has all this armor. Why are you talking to me about it? Because the E rank that was with him was Jinwoo song. Oh, damn. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. And the person who died in that mission was Hwarang Dong-suk. So that was a good way of foreshadowing. Although, not so subtly after dude died. I think because he's like, you don't know who my brother is, you little shit. No, I don't care either. After that episode, we saw dude looking out the window. Just, it's like, okay, that's his brother. We just gotta learn who his name is. So the Dongs, they're the Doo-doo brothers. That's what I'm gonna call them, Doo-doo brothers. They are pretty much a-holes. I can't wait till this guy probably has some type of hope he has something special about him, right? Hope he has like a special sword or maybe magic or something. I hope he's just not like, I'm big giant strong man. We've seen too much of that. And I mentioned earlier about levels. Even S rank can't win, right? The intro episode where they do it's a flashback, then a flash forward to a flashback, right? Then Island, and I thought I wrote it down, Jeju Island, with the S ranks coming in to help everybody fight all those giant ants. Apparently the S rank hunters lost in that. It's kind of funny. because when you see those three guys, you got the healer magician, then you had the guy with the wind claws, you had the other guy with the super strength, and you had red hair who was guiding his guild. You would have figured that 3 to 4 S ranks being there, when we've seen how strong S ranks are alone, at least it makes you look at how strong Jinwoo is. Jinwoo's B rank, breaking down D rank and C rank things, right? At least he's B rank now. Have we seen another S rank? I feel like we haven't, outside of the flashbacks. I need to see another S rank, because there's only 7 S ranks in the country, which is something that Jinwoo said to Jin-ho. Like, Jin-ho's father wants an S rank to be at the helm of the guild, and Ho's brother has not awakened yet. His older brother's not awakened yet. So, but I need another comparison, because if 4 S ranks couldn't take care of that, that must have been a super major S rank thing. And even Jinwoo says he'll probably be able to go beyond S rank. Maybe there's a double S rank or triple S rank. DMC people know. So possibly there was one, if I can find this person, there was one S rank person on that island who was not affiliated. It was the healer guy. His name was Min Byung-gyu, but he retired. I do appreciate the fact that we saw this weird flashback, flash forward to flashback to flash forward, and it got referenced here in multiple ways. I guess they would know that he was on that island, but since we saw what this guy looks like, they put a name to the face, said this guy's out, and then they referenced that place again in flashback of the mind of our boy Jinwoo to say, yeah, that was a failed mission. So I'm gonna assume that it was a dungeon break on that island, and that's why all of them were there. That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense, because that doesn't look. Yeah, they had regular helicopters. Yeah. It had to be a dungeon break. But yeah, so perhaps we'll get an example. I don't think older Dung brother, I don't think he's gonna be S rank. He's probably gonna be A rank. I think he's the shit. Cannot wait for our boy to just knock him down a couple pegs. But yeah, all in all, this episode gets a 5 out of 5, because that Cerberus fight alone, that was really good, very well animated. Not just them clashing, but the background and foregrounds of everything we were saying. I appreciate the callbacks. They didn't just show us random stuff and say, hey, here's some random stuff to kind of layer how the world is. These things are referenced later on. Although this is episode 7, and we're referencing things from episodes 1 and 2. It may seem kind of early. Granted, if this is only going to be 10 to 12 episodes of season 1, that is the perfect timing to do it. So kudos from me. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section below. Please do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get more reviews just as this one. I appreciate you all showing up today. Appreciate you coming by to listen to me talk about solo leveling. Please be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk, all right? Make sure you're taking care out there, and realize you're not alone in this world. If you need to reach out to somebody, you really should. People out there would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. So please reach out to somebody. My social medias are in the description below. They're right underneath that Patreon link. So feel free to give me a follow. Send me a message. Say hi. As long as you're not a jerk, I'm going to talk to you back. All right? All right, guys. Well, until next time, I hope you level up, because I cannot wait for this.